Good morning. Hello, welcome to Spring Forest Qigong every day. Good morning. Good to see you. Happy to have you here this morning. Hello, welcome. Good afternoon or good evening, depending on when you're watching this or where you're located in the world. For me, it's about 8 o'clock in the morning, Tuesday. So happy to see you. Welcome. Love to see you logging on, hopping on. My name is Nikki Kalaji. I am a Spring Forest Qigong certified trainer, and I am so delighted to be here with you this week to share in the gifts, the teachings, and the practices of Spring Forest Qigong and our connection to one another all around the world. So happy to be here with you. If you'd like to introduce yourself in the comments, please do. I love to see where you're from around the world. It's so great to share that with one another, where you're logging in from. I love to see your emojis as well. You inspire my emoji texting all week. So if you want to leave some emojis as well, that's wonderful. Maybe you want to tag a loved one. So hitting that @ sign and then starting to type in their name, either sharing this with them, inviting them in, bringing them in, or if someone shared this with you, tagging them and thanking them for doing that, that would be wonderful. So hitting that kind of @ sign on your keyboard and then typing in their name, inviting even more people to share in our practice this morning or today or whenever you watch this. I am so delighted to meet all of you, to receive your questions, your comments, your emojis. I am located in Duluth, Minnesota, pretty far north in the United States, located on the shore of Lake Superior. We're having a beautiful, mild summer morning. I've again brought you out into my yard, out onto my deck. As they say, our friends in the United Kingdom, perhaps you would call it your garden, in your back garden. I love that. That's so sweet, so wonderful. So we're out here enjoying some mild, overcast skies. I think the sun is going to come through while we're practicing. A little overcast and a beautiful sweet breeze is blowing through the air. So this is our second day together, working our way through our 5 elements practice. And I'm so happy to welcome you if we haven't met before. My name is Nikki Kalaji. I am a Spring Forest Qigong certified trainer, certified practice group leader. And I have been on a teaching maternity leave for the past year as I have been adjusting to becoming a mother. I have a nearly 1-year-old daughter. Her name is Tuli. And so normally I have a practice group that meets on Zoom on Thursday mornings at 10 a.m. Central Time. I've been taking a hiatus during my maternity leave for that, but I'm looking forward to bringing that back online soon. And you can see my teaching schedule in the link with this video. I'll be co-teaching our level 1 Qi activation class with my colleague and dear friend, Emily Jarrett Hughes, in September and in December. And we've chosen a format of Friday afternoons from 12 to 4. Here it is, the sun, yay, that feels so good. So please take a look at my teaching schedule. I would love to get to know you through our level 1 Qi activation class. If that doesn't work for your schedule, we've got so many other incredible teachers, different offerings. Please take a look at that link that's been posted with the video. And I am so happy to be a part of this beautiful community that is a part of our Spring Forest Qigong family. So welcome, 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 whether this is your first time, you've just found this video, this live stream this community, or if you're kind of an old hat at this and you've been with Spring Forest Qigong every day since the beginning. March 2020, I want to say, is when Master Chuni Lin started doing these. And we are so fortunate that we get to continue to gather in this way. One of the incredible gifts of the technology of our time, that we can gather in such a format and get to know one another. So welcome. I am so happy to see you here. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and pop into the comments and introduce yourself. I would love to know where you're from. I love to see your emojis. And if you want to bring a friend or a loved one in, go ahead and tag them too. So yesterday we talked about how we can use so-called distraction to as an invitation to go deeper into our practice of meditation and movement and breath work in Spring Forest Qigong. And we got to practice that with a few minutes of our 5 elements healing movement yesterday. And I want to deepen this conversation today by talking a little bit more about a specific technique that I use every day in my own life in doing this. And so this is not only in my practice when I'm formally doing my 5 elements movements, but definitely in my life as a mother with a young child. There's a lot of intensity and a lot of noise, and some might call it chaos sometimes. A lot is happening, very high energy, sometimes with little sleep, and just the rhythm of life. And that is focusing on my lower dantian. So maybe you've heard this word before, or maybe it's a new word to you today. And dantian is a Mandarin Chinese word that is comprised of 2 different traditional characters in Mandarin. And the translation could be thought of in a number of different ways, but one of my favorite ways to relate to it is thinking of it in a way that my husband taught me. We were in a Spring Forest Qigong level 1 class, and the characters were on the page, and he's a Chinese speaker. And before the teacher introduced this to us, he whispered to himself, "rice field." And I thought, I didn't know what he was talking about, rice field. And the teacher went on to explain that these 2 characters together mean approximately rice field. And we can think of it as a way of being nourished within ourselves. If you want to look up the Chinese character for dantian, you might see kind of a box looking character. I also think of it like if you were to see an aerial or drone photo or video of a field. So whether that is tulips in springtime in the Netherlands, or rows of corn in the Midwest in the United States. So those beautiful rows of, we're joined by a bee. I'm just going to keep my eye on this bee here. Welcome, bee. These rows of rice are there for our nourishment. So thinking about that lower dantian, this is a place that we can go to that exists within our body, that is an energy center for our nourishment. And it's located about 2 to 3 inches behind your navel, behind your belly button. And isn't that such a beautiful place to connect to? Your belly button, your original connection to your mother, your source of independence when you were disconnected from your mother's body, your belly button, your reminder of life here. 2 to 3 inches behind there is that energy center, the lower dantian, that we can think of as a place of nourishment within our bodies. And so when I'm in the midst of the fullness of life and mothering and being a wife and a daughter and a friend to myself and others and a coworker, if I feel myself being tired or depleted, having fear, worry, sleeplessness, anxiety, any of these kind of troubling emotions, my practice is to come back to focus on my lower dantian. And I notice in doing this how expanded my energy is in thinking, out in my body, out in the world. And this is an invitation to go deep within myself, deep within this energy center here behind my belly button. And in our Spring Forest Qigong teachings, we have a lot of opportunity to visualize a beautiful light held here, deep in behind our navel. And so we're going to work with this visualization deep in behind our navel today. And so my invitation to you in this practice, and as you go forth in your day, if you notice that you are feeling any sort of troubling emotion, or you simply want more nourishment, bring your focus into your lower dantian, 2 to 3 inches behind your navel, and spend a moment there with your breath, with your visualization, and notice and feel what that is like for you. And sometimes people will say, I don't feel anything, or I feel this, or how come I don't feel this or this? And what I will say in that case is to trust that your intention and your focus is helping and is a part of this replenishment, this nourishment of focusing in your lower dantian. Because it's true that wherever our focus goes, our energy will follow. So this is a practice of coming back into ourselves, into this nourishment that is available to us in the lower dantian. So why don't we begin our movement practice today with some bouncing, some gentle bouncing. And if you are seated, if you are lying down, you can join me in standing, or if that is not available to you, please feel free to stay seated and use your visualization to bounce with us. And when we bounce, we have a certain softness in our knees, shoulders are relaxed, and wrists loose, fingertips spread. This helps to facilitate the flow of qi through our bodies. Inhaling gently through the nose. And if you would like, if it is available to you, you can softly exhale out the mouth. Inhaling gently. Exhaling gently. I welcome you to this moment, to our healing Spring Forest Qigong practice. Inhaling softly. Exhaling softly. My invitation to you, if you can, that your next breath be either slower or deeper or more full into your body. Whenever you're ready, if you would like to raise your arms up overhead and bounce this way, letting hands and wrists be loose, shoulders still relaxed away from the ears. So we're not holding our arms up here, they're more so floating. Continuing that gentle inhalation through the nose, exhalation out the mouth. If you would like to benefit your immune system and your balance, you can rise up onto tiptoes. Taking care here might be easier to focus on something with your eyes open. And if you would like to lower your arms back down and bring either a soft windmilling with or without bouncing, turning side to side. I am so thankful for this particular part of our bouncing movement as an opportunity to thank my spine, to thank my skeleton for all of the work it does for me every day so diligently. Yours too. Thank you. Bringing that thankfulness, that gratitude into every cell. Thank you. Wonderful. Doesn't that feel good? And letting go of this bouncing now, we're going to do some tapping, and we're going to tap a number of different energy points along the body. And you can tap them 9 times each. If you lose count, that's okay. Keep going. And we're going to begin beneath the eyes. I'll give some guidance on how I like to do this tapping. Usually it's with my middle finger. Some people like to use their thumb. So just play with that. See what feels good to you beneath the eyes. 9 gentle vibrations moving up above the eyes, the beginning of the eyebrow point. And then locating the top of the head, cupping the top of the head, 9 gentle cuppings, offering that vibration to your body. And then if you would like, you can stabilize the forehead and cup the back of the head where the skull meets your neck. And then finding that C7 vertebrae and gently massaging it 9 times. You can use one hand or 2. 9 gentle circular massages. You can just stay here. This feels so good. And then we're going to activate our heart's energy by clapping or cupping the hands 9 times. And then moving, starting with the left elbow, or excuse me, armpit, 9 gentle cuppings, always starting on the left side, and then moving to the right. And extending left arm, again, left side, 9 gentle cuppings inside of that elbow, and then right side. Armpits. And then we're gently going to bend forward, finding that lower back, tailbone, sacrum area. And I'm using the knife edge of my hands here, gently bending forward if that's possible for you. Helping to bring balance and activation to these energy points here in the sacrum. And then gently bringing thumbs inside of fists and tapping along those hip points. And we're going to find this place above the knees and cupping 9 times above our kneecaps. And then backs of the knees. And then starting on the left side, sides of knee, left knee, and sides of right knee. Wonderful. And we can come to standing. Feet are about shoulder width apart, knees gently relaxed, shoulders away from your ears, elbows slightly away from your body, fingertips are spread, they're relaxed and alert. And let's bring our energy, our focus, our attention deep in behind our navel to our lower dantian. I want you to visualize a beautiful ball of light. Don't strain yourself in this visualization. Perhaps you see a soft light, like one of the cafe lights behind me. Or perhaps you see an incredibly bright sun behind your lower dantian. See that beautiful warmth radiating through your body, comforting you, nourishing you. Let's take 3 gentle breaths with this focus together. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Master Lin said the secret is to feel it. And let's say the password together, following along in your heart with me. I am in the universe. The universe is inside me. The universe and I combine together. And feel it. Breathing gently here. Let's call upon our master's energy. So for you, this could be God, Buddha, Allah, Mother Earth, the unconditional love of our group here today. And we ask that our energy channels be completely opened. Any blockages, leave us now. That we can go forth into our practice and in our day, being in our purpose. That our spirit can shine brightly. That we can love ourselves, our bodies, our neighbor, and one another completely and unconditionally. And I thank you. Breathing gently here, visualizing that beautiful light behind your navel. And when you're ready, bringing your hands in front of your lower dantian. Fingers are open and relaxed. Hands are about 6 inches apart. My right hand is in, my left hand is out. If you are a woman or gender non-binary, this might feel good to you. If you're a man, you might want your left hand in, right hand out. Let's take 3 more gentle breaths in this position. Again, focusing on the beautiful light deep within our lower dantian. Inhaling here. And see beautiful light coming from the palm of your hand, extending deep into your lower dantian. And on your next inhalation, opening those hands out to the side, welcoming the brightness of that light, inhaling. Exhaling, bringing your hands back toward one another, moving slowly and gently. And if you would like, you can bring a gentle bend to the knees as you inhale. And as you exhale, bring your hands back toward one another. Gently inhaling, visualizing this beautiful ball of light between your hands, growing as you inhale, moving between your hands as you exhale. Using that visualization, inhaling, you can say to yourself, joy. I feel joy. I've heard this described as happy for no reason. This is your natural state, being in joy, your birthright. Inhaling, beautiful, joyful energy flowing into every cell of your body, bringing with it this healing message, balancing out any sort of hatred or extreme emotion in the heart, wrestling with God, wrestling with purpose, inhaling joy. And know that it's true. This joy is always available to us. There is joy available. We are not scanning our body or ourselves or our mood to look for the joy. We're instead offering this beautiful healing emotion to ourselves, to our bodies. This high energy vibration is bringing balance into our heart energy system. And this also includes the brain, the thyroid, the small intestines, and the tongue. Inhaling, see this beautiful joy energy flowing into every cell. And if you would like, on your exhalation, you can see any extra energy that you no longer need, any blockages in your body, turn to smoke. And leave your body now, blowing away in the wind. Inhaling more deeply, more slowly, more completely. Joy. And if you find yourself distracted in your mind, in your body, in your environment, use that as an invitation to return more fully and deeply to your practice of joy in this movement. Inhaling here. Practice this quietly on our own for a few breaths now. The tip of the tongue located just behind the upper teeth, connecting your two main energy channels up the front of the body and down the back of your body. Chin is slightly tucked to elongate the spine. Inhaling joy and feel it. Beautiful. Opening our hearts to joy, to one another. Doesn't that feel good? And one more breath, one more complete movement. Balancing our heart's energy and our healing 5 elements practice. Let go of that movement now. Inhaling, exhaling gently and softly. Bring your focus and your attention back into your lower dantian. Feel it. And leaving our movement practice, let's rub the palms of our hands together, helping to activate that beautiful heart energy. And coming back into our day, making sure to interlace those fingers slightly, warm our hands before we massage the face. And you can do this up the bridge of the nose and around the forehead, down the cheeks. Think of a heart shape, offering unconditional love to yourself, to your incredible body on this day for all that it has done for you, and to one another for joining us in this beautiful practice of cultivating unconditional love for one another. And let's run our hands along our scalps, activating those feel-good endorphins from forehead to the back of your neck, and then taking your hands into a cup shape and cupping along the scalp from front to back. And then massaging the ears from top to bottom, making sure all parts of the ears are massaged. Giving those earlobes a tug at the bottom. And let's massage that C7 vertebrae now in a circle, finding that vertebrae that protrudes just a little bit in the back of the neck. And cupping down the left arm and then down the top side from elbow to wrist, helping to move all that beautiful chi that we just cultivated throughout our entire body. And then moving to the right side, palm up, cupping, and then palm down. And we'll cup beneath the left armpit from shoulder to hip, from top to bottom, helping to activate all those heart and lung points. And the right side body, And we're going to cup down the front of the body, the chest, the torso, and the abdomen. And then we'll interlace the fingers and massage along our stomach points. So starting at the top right quadrant, moving from right to left, top to bottom, doing this a few times. And finding thumbs inside a fist, tapping those hip points again, that gentle vibration along the sides of the buttocks. And gently bending forward and cupping or tapping the lower back and sacrum area. If you're able to bend forward slightly, please do that. And let's dolphin the neck. So gently, less is better here. We're going to begin with shoulders back. If you're seated in a chair, that's fine too. I'm going to stay standing. And reach your chin forward slightly as if you're going to grasp a small golf ball beneath your chin and tuck it to your chest. Inhaling, dolphining the neck forward. Someone asked, what helps with symptoms of vertigo? Yesterday, when I shared my healing story, well, this is a movement that I've used quite a lot with my symptoms of vertigo, with some challenges with my inner ears, with allergies, and with headaches. So gently reaching forward, scooping that chin. You might feel a little gentle tug along the breastbone. This is called dolphining the neck. That feels so good. Thank you for doing this with me. And if you would like, you can support the lower back with your hands, reaching your chin forward, gently bending the knees, tucking your tailbone, rounding through the back and dolphining the entire spine. Again, less is best here. And if you do have challenges in your spine, in your back, in your neck, you can skip this. You can do it more gently. Let's do this a few times. Chin comes forward as we gently bend forward, tucking tailbone, pelvis comes forward, rounding through, dolphining the entire spine. That feels so good. One more. And we're going to let go of this movement, cupping above those knees one more time. It's called harvesting of the chi, and cupping behind the knees, helping to make the best use of that chi that we've cultivated in our practice, our healing 5 elements. Cupping sides of left knee now, and sides of right knee. Wonderful. And if you would like to, take 9 heel drops, raising up onto tips of toes, dropping those heels down 9 times. If you're pregnant, even if you're menstruating, you could skip this. It won't do any harm, but it might not encourage the peacefulness of your baby or your cycle. And letting that go. Thank you so much for practicing this heart balancing Spring Forest Qigong movement with me today, for bringing your unconditional love and healing to this practice and learning with me. Tomorrow, we're going to move into our 3rd element, focusing on decreasing anxiety and worry with peacefulness and groundedness. So I hope you join me. Please invite anyone who you think could use our love, either in the comments, sharing the video, or simply in your heart. And I bow deeply to you in Spring Forest Qigong tradition, to all of the teachers who have come before me, and to each of you for joining me today. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. My name was Nikki, Spring Forest Qigong trainer. I am so delighted to meet you, to practice with you, and see you back here tomorrow. Thank you.